Welcome everyone to the House of Dre's podcast. And today, I know y'all gonna read the title, and I know it's gonna confuse some of y'all, but this is not a death battle between the both of the series. It's more of a I feel between the two, right? Anyway, basically, what I'm thinking of is that Dragon Ball Super, the anime, not the manga, the anime has ended a while ago. I can't remember when it ended a while ago. So what it ended a while ago, what I noticed is that this has been an argument for a little while. It's been an argument for a little while. Is that it's been an argument for a little while that people enjoy what they enjoy. I don't care which one you enjoy. Some people like GT more. Some people like Super more. For me, purposely, when I watched Super, I felt like Super really didn't have the. How do you explain this? How do I explain this? Super really didn't have everything I wanted it to have and push as a series compared to GT. Now, GT also had its bad writing. Let's be honest here. GT was also wasn't perfect. However, I enjoyed the concept of Dragon Ball GT than I did Dragon Ball Super. And I'll tell you why. We'll go through both. We'll go through arc versus arc in my thought process of both of them. I mean, sit back, relax. Let's talk about this. So, Dragon Ball Super starts off with two movies: Battle of Gods, Resurrection F. We're not even going to focus on those because they're just retelling in the anime. They just retold them with different scenarios. We're not even going to discuss anything about those, right? We're not even going to talk about those two arcs. We'll just skip right ahead into their first official moving forward arcs. Dragon Ball Super starts off with, if I'm not mistaken, their very first original arc was Universe 6 versus Universe 7. I mean, of course, I need to fact check that because it's been a cool minute since I watched Dragon Ball Super. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I don't even know the last time I actually watched Dragon Ball Super. But let me see, make sure. Taking a look. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm pretty sure. I think it was Universe 6 versus Universe 7, but let me say, let me make on the phone, making sure. I want to say yeah, and it's not the right. Yeah, I was right. Universe. Yep. Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc, right? That was the beginning for Super. And for Super, when I'm watching that, and when I watch back and I think about everything that happened in the show, one thing I've noticed that Super was doing when I was reading watching this, there was a lot of concept that just didn't capitalize at all when it came to that arc. Universe 6 versus Universe 7. They said that was very Muriel. If you don't remember, Beerus and Lord Champa, both of those guys, both brothers, and they decided to have this little tournament. The tournament would determine who get to make who can wasn't it a wish with the Super Dragon Balls, I want to say. I think it was something with the Super Dragon Balls or something, or it was something like that, something crazy like that. And they were like, okay, you get five, I get five, and we'll just have a little battle royale. We'll just have a little tournament style, just us between each other. So no one else has to be involved. Cool. Beer's side, of course, you have Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo. You had Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan. No, did Gohan fight? No, Gohan didn't fight. Who am I missing? It's been a while. Hey, god dang it. It's been cool, man. I can't remember who all fought in that little. I'm gonna take a look. I can't remember who was all fight. And of course, we had the guy who we thought was supposed to be stronger than we thought was supposed to be who Beerus lied and said it was the strongest character that he fought. And we're really like focusing on that because we was like, oh wow, is he really that strong? Like we was like, oh crap, it's about to be crazy. Oh, Majin Buu. Wait, Majin Buu fought? I don't remember Majin Buu fighting in that. I didn't think he fought in that. Did he? Huh. They said Majin Buu. Did Majin Buu fight? Apparently Majin Buu fought. I don't remember him fighting in that. Universe 6 versus Universe 7, little arc that they did. If he fought, did that? Yeah, because the pictures are right here. Like they're showcasing him on every single one of these. I don't remember. I don't remember that happening. I didn't think he fought in that. Let me take some reading real quick because I didn't think Boo fought in that. Because they got Boo right now. And I'm thinking like I don't remember Boo fighting at all in this little fighting thing at all. Uh, yep, it was over the super. It was over the super thing. Shout out to Obama's sister Tights. She made her appearance in there. They also slept. Yeah, 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 huh. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm sorry, I'm just reading through real quick. Oh yeah, Boo failed. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Boo fell asleep, so they was short 4-1. I thought I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy. I know I wasn't crazy. I was like, Boo fought. Yeah, that's what happened. Boo fought in the written. He failed his written test, so he couldn't even fight in the little tournament thing. I didn't think. I was like, Boo, Boo, Manja, Boo, Manja, Boo. Anyway, uh, uh, so we had a 4 against 5 fight up, and on Ciampa's side, they had the guy who looked like Winnie the Pooh, the bear. Decent, decent, but wasn't strong. They had the robot who was took a lot of damage, but he can dish it out. And not only did he dish it out, but he also had like the little fire thing that would come up. He was making it really hard for them to fight. All that was reality. All that was that you just had to trash talk him, and he shut down. Gimmick. Okay. We had Kappa, the Saiyan. He fought, couldn't transform. Vegeta helped him transform, but that was about it. But we knew he had peaked because he's just a Saiyan. He's just a Super Saiyan. He just barely got in the Super Saiyan transformation, so he wasn't even that important. We had Frost, if I'm not mistaken, his name was Frost. Once again, a character that you think was something important, but then you realize that he's just Frieza 2.0, but weaker. Not only weaker, but he only used the little needle thing that got him the win, and that was it. And then Hit was the strongest out of all 4 of those guys put together. So it's like a 4 against 1. Hit's that beating all 4 of them with no problems at all. So my whole thing was they didn't really capitalize on what could have been for them, right? I feel like they could have done more with that Universe 6 versus 7 little fight because it seems interesting. You know, like when you're watching it the first time, you're like, "Oh, this is crazy," and then then you get to the ending, and then you think back to everything that happened. You're like, "That wasn't as good as I thought it could be." The characters are kind of weaker than we should have been. They should have been a lot better. The characters should have been a lot stronger. Don't know what she was thinking of. I don't know what they was planning on. I don't know anything. I felt like it was a wasted opportunity in my personal opinion. Outside of Hit and Kappa to an extent, wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. We go with the Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball GT had a weird arc. They whole entire thing was the fighting the Dragon Balls, right? They was fighting the Dragon Balls. In the mix of them fighting the Dragon Balls, they also ran into the Tuffle baby. I like the idea of the Tuffle race because the Tuffle race was something that was hinted at twice. If I'm not mistaken, it was hinted at twice. One, the first time we ever heard of the Tuffles, it was during the Tree of Might with Turles. Turles the Saiyan, but he was also saying he was half Saiyan, half Tuffle. I don't know if you guys remember that. But he was a low class Saiyan. So it was like, okay, he's low class. It doesn't really matter that much. But the Tree of Might, he ate a fruit off the Tree of Might and he was gaining crazy powers. So right? But that's the first time we heard of the Tuffles the first time. So then we to hear it again over here in Dragon Ball GT, and the whole idea of baby can go inside of people and take over the people's bodies almost reminds you almost similar to Cell and almost similar to Majin Buu, except those two Except Cell could only absorb the androids to go to this next stage. Majin Buu absorbed in the beginning. In the very beginning, he was Kid Buu, and then he started absorbing some of the Kais, and then his transformation changed and kept changing. So he kept changing his look kept changing, and then finally we got to Fat Boo basically, or we just call him Boo. We don't have to call him Majin Buu. We call him Boo. And then here in babies actually have to create damage to the person and then go inside their bodies and try to take it over from the inside out, which gave it a lot more boost to it. In my personal opinion, gave it a lot more boost to it. So you have you have baby doing that. You introduce the idea of a transformation past Super Saiyan 3, which was Super Saiyan 4, right? And I skipped the entire beginning, but basically Pilaf game was tired of fighting and losing to Goku 24/7. The Dragon Balls are used. Um, Pilaf made the wish that he wished Goku was a kid again, so he can beat him down. The wish was granted. Goku transformed back to a kid, but Pilaf didn't know that Kid Goku, who was causing damage back there in Dragon Ball, was still a big dangerous threat because now he can go Super Saiyan and stuff still. So, and then they just kept him like that. That was just like the series moving forward. They probably explained it why he was still a kid and why they can't get it back. I think it was all close with the Dragon Balls or something, but I don't think they I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what exactly why they kept him as a kid throughout the whole show, but that was fine. The thought process is going Super Saiyan 4, doing some training with the Kais, something that Goku didn't take under. Gohan did, but Goku had not trained with the Kais yet. So Goku trains with the Kais. He grows his tail back. With the tail back, Goku is now able to basically, it was like, let's go back to what you're supposed to be. Saiyans with their tails in the very beginning was supposed to be really powerful because of the transformation to a great ape, and great apes were the head and shoulder above everybody else. It's a transformation state. So you need your tail back this time. After you get your tail cut off, you get weak and then you recovered and get stronger. Well, now that you already strong, let's grow your tail back. So now all that power and stuff that you already had, your tail is back. It seemed like your tail, I don't know what kind of increase you would get. Let's go like a times let's go between a times 1 to a times 5 of an increase with your tail back, with their tails back. And then they was able to transform into great apes, and then they was able to control. And once they got control over the great ape transformation, that's when they was able to seduce that energy down to Super Saiyan 4. Not only that, but you have Baby, who had taken over, who tried to take over Trunks' body. Trunks was too strong for him, so he's like, I need to work myself up. I need to go to Goten, who's weaker. Then I can go to Gohan, who's stronger than Goten to an extent, and then I use both of those to take over Vegeta, as is a 2 against 1, saying that Vegeta is not as strong as he was after all this peace and stuff. Now I can take over Vegeta's body, and Vegeta has the perfect body. Not only that, it's the perfect revenge because I'm taking over the Prince of Saiyan's body because his king, because his father and them destroyed my planet. Now I can take over his body and destroy their planet and rebuild the tougher race. Take over Vegeta. Now we have baby Vegeta. He has his base form, and then he has a second stage, and then his final stage, and then he ended up becoming a great ape, showcasing that he can reach the great ape transformation. Goku gets Super Saiyan 4, and then we have Goku as a Super Saiyan 4 on the same level as a great ape baby. And then those two collided against one another. And then a full power of Super Saiyan 4 was more than enough to take down a great ape or so. I like the concept better that GT did that more than Super did when it came to Universe 6 versus 7. So I'm giving GT the win over that one. GT's next arc was the Super 17 arc. Didn't care for that arc at all. Super 17 is a cool little concept, and like a ultimate Super 17, basically like the best version of a Android 17, which was Super 17, uh, with the energy bombs that he would have in his hand, something he didn't have in his first body. But all in all, that arc was way too short. Nothing really lasting outside of Super 17, just being a cool character just to have and introduce. Goku using the Dragon Fist to actually GG him was awesome to see. And he had to do it in base form. He had to do it in his kid base form just to do it because it just that's all he can do. Decent. Turn around on Dragon Ball Super, we had the Future Trunks arc. The thing is, the Future Trunks arc is very similar to how they went back to original, what went back to Dragon Ball Z arc when they did Future Trunks in the first place. But I think for me personally, what made it very difficult because I'm still taking I'm taking the Trunks arc over the Super 17 arc, but to me they're both bad arcs. And the reason I'm saying that Future Trunks arc was bad, it was basically if I get down to the nitty gritty, it was basically um a lot of plot holes and stuff that didn't get fixed in that thing, in my personal opinion. There's a version of Zumasu who went to a timeline to take over Goku's body. So it couldn't be Future Trunks' timeline because that Goku is dead. So he went to a whole different timeline, was able to take over that Goku's body by a wish, became Goku Black himself, then go to another timeline, or maybe Trunks' timeline, and him and that Zamasu teamed up to get rid of all gods of destructions and stuff like that, and take over Trunks' future timeline. Even though now there's a timeline to where the uh, uh, unless I'm mistaken, there's another timeline to where there's another timeline to where Goku is still alive, and that Goku's family, well, he got killed or whatever. It took out Chi Chi and Goten. But in that timeline, where's Vegeta and all them at? So there's a timeline to where this is just a missing Goku in general. Goku and his family got murdered or so, and that there's a timeline that's out. Unless I'm mistaken, in that Goku Black and Zamasu went to that timeline to finish off everybody, which I don't think they did. But once again, that's a plot hole. I'm not for sure, but they went to Future Trunks' timeline, which I'm starting to think that's almost a plot hole too, because it's a lot. Let me think. Let me think this out. I'm sorry, I know because I still because it's been a while. From in the current timeline, Zumasu hasn't started anything yet. He's just an apprentice. He's just an apprentice for the Kai. In Future Trunks' timeline, that's where Black Goku and Zumasu is at. So we got rid of current day. We got our regular timeline. We got rid of Arzamatsu. He's dead. He's GG. Beerus took out of him. And in Trunks' future timeline, this is the second timeline here. That's where Goku Black and Zamasu is at. But a third timeline to where there's a Zamatsu who wished to be in Goku's body because that's where Goku was alive in a different timeline. Because you know the Goku Future Trunks' timeline is dead. He's long gone. He's been dead for a long time. So there is a timeline to where Zamatsu Zamasu broke through the multiverse, went to went to a different verse, took over, making a wish to take over that Goku's body, and got rid of Goku in Chi Chi. And then that version of Goku was able to somehow travel back to Future Trunks' timeline to team up with Samatsu to create that duo. That's a lot. It's a lot because I'm pretty sure I'm confused. Like I said, you want to comment down below. Maybe I got it wrong, but the explanation is just. Whew. But that timeline we had, I mean, so in that arc we had, we saw Future Trunks for the first time in a long time. Cool. He's able to access Super Saiyan 2, I want to say. He was able to get to Super Saiyan 2. We dealt with the Goku Black and the Rose and the transformation like that, Zumatsu and all that stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't really care for the arc that much. It was decent, but I didn't care too much for the arc. But I'm still giving it to Super for that. And then the final two arcs between the two, we had we had the Tournament of Power arc for Super, and we had the Super Dragons arc for GT. And between the two, I know what I'm about to say is quite controversial. That's just me. I don't care. Give me the Shadow Dragon arcs over Tournament of Power. I speak to this every single time. I told my cousin this. I told my homeboy that both of them are diehard Dragon Ball fans. I said when you look back at it and you start really looking down at everything that happened, the Universe Six, I mean that Tournament of Power arc was a big old filler arc, minus the Jiren fight. Everything else, everything else. Mm. I liked what they did in the manga more than I liked the anime. The anime did decent, but to me, it was clear that the anime had a lot of fillers. I mean, the whole Tournament of Power arc, quite honestly, outside of Goku, Vegeta, Golden Frieza, Mystic Gohan, those four is your top dog for Universe 6, right? Piccolo, you can say is a top dog. Piccolo, 16, I mean, not 16, Android 17, Android 18, Krillin, and Tien. I'm missing somebody, ain't I? Oh, Master Roshi. That's the problem I had was Master Roshi. A lot of people were trying to tell me Master Roshi, yeah, he has experience and stuff. Master Roshi has not trained since Dragon Ball. If we're being quite honestly, after Dragon Ball Z, he does nothing but sit on his tail and does absolutely nothing. He didn't go to Planet Namek. He didn't help with the Saiyans. He didn't help with the Saiyans and the Cybermen. He didn't help with any of those. He didn't help go to Namek and help against Frieza's people because he couldn't. He didn't help with the Cell Juniors and stuff because he couldn't. He didn't help with the Majin Buu stuff because he couldn't. And Super and Super, they had him come in because he couldn't do nothing against Beerus. Against Frieza's army, he came in and helped because Frieza's army, it was showcased and it was told Frieza's army is weak. There's like, yeah, your army is weak way compared to your army back in the day. The army now in Super is 10 times weaker than your army back in Z. Couldn't he body father is what he did. He was able to body father fillers. He was able to body them. Didn't do nothing in the Universe 6 versus 7. Didn't do nothing in the Future Trunks arc. And then all of a sudden now he's back in the Tournament of Power. And no, people, I'm not counting the fillers they added to where he got a power boost because a lady put on that spells. No. Because you're not about to sit here and tell me he can match the Super Saiyan Blue. Stop that. Stop it. You had Master Roshi in there. He was able to eliminate a good amount of people. Too many people, in my personal opinion. Way too many people. I was like, I say if Master Roshi can eliminate these people, these are not real fighters. These are not. The build up to it, when they had Goku, Gohan, and Boo versus the dogs, the trio brother dogs, those guys look like a threat, right? In the expedition match, right? That was pretty cool. And then you had you had them win, like they swept them, so it was like I guess they ain't that strong as we thought they were. But that's a good idea that they might have some more powerful people in different universes might have powerful people. And then you look at the other universes and no. No. Universe 6 was the second strongest behind what was that? Universe 11, which is Jiren and them. Besides the Pride Troopers, Universe 6 was like right behind the Pride Troopers. And then behind them was you can argue it was Universe 7. That was it. 11, 6, 7. That's it. Everybody else, not important. Nowhere important. They was not important. Big old fillers, in my personal opinion. A lot of people maxed out in that thing, and it's just like, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick. Outside of the Jiren versus Goku's first fight, everything else, quite honestly, didn't really live up to anything. We was like, oh, Hit versus Jiren, and we were excited for that. Like people was excited for that. I was like, it's like it's interesting if anything, but we've seen that Jiren is that dog, so Hit can't touch Jiren. Quite honestly, we got the Khalifa fusion, cool little fusion and stuff. I think that fusion time was a little long, in my personal opinion, but that's what the confusion was. You have to think back to Dragon Ball Z when they first time that Vegeta and Goku used fusion and used the fusion dance. Not was it the fusion dance? No, the earrings. Yeah, they used the earrings. Yeah, when they used the earrings and they was in that fusion for or they I think they had like I don't know like an hour maybe even more than that an hour or so, and then that's when the fortune earrings broke up when they was inside of Super Boo. So here the same thing that happened for Khalifa, except she just got Kamehameha in the face and the earrings broken. Is the reason why she got eliminated. But the fact that they said that her fusion was stronger than Goku tells me that Goku. It seemed like Goku didn't really, he wasn't really maxed out because if you guys remember in Dragon Ball Z, Mr. Gohan was the strongest Z character without fusion. They was like Mr. Gohan can beat Gotenks because Gotenks should be stronger, but Gotenks is too childish. Mr. Gohan would body Gotenks Super Saiyan 3. Outside of fusion, Mr. Gohan is the strongest non-fusion character. So then in the manga, they had her versus Gohan, Mr. Gohan, and they stalemated. They stalemated in the manga, so it only made sense. So I'm thinking like, well, if Goku and them got all this new transformation and all this power boosts and stuff, he should be able to beat her. And it was like, nah, he needs the Ultra Instinct sign to beat her. It's like, okay, well, I wouldn't put that out there like that in my personal opinion, but that's just me. Like I said, the tournament of power, I could rant about that all day. I'm not gonna rant about that too long, but I could rant about that all the time. I just didn't really, it didn't really excite me. Now on the GT side of things, I like the ideal of it. The idea behind that the overuse of the Dragon Balls led to the dragons reacting and becoming their own little evil thing, and they have to go and destroy every single dragon, then return the Dragon Ball back to good. Of course, all those were pretty much fillers up until you get to the final three, which was Haze, Ice, and Shenron, which I enjoyed that one because I enjoyed those more than anything. That Shenron was that powerful, absorbed all the Dragon Balls and became Omega Shenron, and then Omega Shenron versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. And he was able to beat both of them with no problems. And they had to freaking fuse to Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 just to even take him out, and that almost happened, and they almost won. And then the fusion disactivated, and then now it's back to them going against him again, and they were taking a universal spirit bomb just to destroy him. I think it was a lot better. Now, between the two shows, like I said, I think both shows could have done way better. Way better. I talked to this back in the past. In my personal opinion, if I wrote both of the shows, for Dragon Ball GT, if I erase the first half, like the beginning half up until we get to the baby part, that's fine. We can get rid of that part. And then when baby comes in, we can go. We can still do the baby part. The Super 17 one, uh, I bet on them just erase Super 17 and created a brand new Android or something. It was that Android 21 that just got canon on the video games or stuff or something like that. Make like an Android, like I don't know, make a different Android that was supposed to be stronger than all Androids or something. I don't know. Either that or extend the Super Android arc a little bit longer or something, because that was a choice. And then for the Super Dragon arc, I think it would have been a lot better. I think it would have been 10 times better if it was actual so much of a major threat that they actually had to get Goten and Gohan, Vegeta. If they had to get the entire dragon the Z Warriors. They get all the Z Warriors. So you get Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Pam. You get those seven. You get those sevens to help. You get those sevens to help out to take out these dragons up until we get to those ones. I mean the dragons were and then had it whether the dragons were like at least Super Saiyan 3 level or something like to give them a crazy high boost or something. Each one everybody fight was like they had to max out and gain something. We have Goten. Goten fights one of the dragons, and the dragons and him is on the same level. And then Goten finally had to push through, get Super Saiyan 2 to beat that dragon. Same thing with Trunks. He had to push through to Super Saiyan 2 to deal with that. You get Pam. Maybe you flirt with Pam getting Super Saiyan. If not, you have Majub, who's in there. You have Oob in there. Maybe he comes in and he handles one of the dragons. And then you same thing with Gohan. Gohan has to get back to what made Gohan so strong in the first place. And then you have like you do all of that, you get up to the haze and the ice and Shenron, and then when you get to Omega Shenron, you have Omega Shenron defeat Gohan. Go when you have him defeat Goten and Trunks, and they do fusion to make a teenager version of Gotenks. That'd have been awesome to see. And then you have and then you have Omega Shenron just washes them. That makes him a bigger threat. You have Gohan getting back to his Mystic Gohan form for the first time in a years, but since it's been so long, Omega washes him. You have Oob fights him, Amaj Oob fights him, Omega Shenron washes him. Goku and Vegeta Super fours who are stronger than everybody at this point. You have Omega washes them. They fuse, and he's distracted because he's like, "Wait, didn't no one boys do that? Oh no!" Trying to stop that, but of course that couldn't stop them. And they fuse and they get Gogeta 4, and Gogeta 4 washes him. Couldn't win because playing around, and then you have all that still happen at the end to where they had to use a universal spirit bomb just to defeat Omega Shenron. I think that's even better. But Dragon Ball Super, on the other hand, how do I fix that? How do I fix that? Well, that fix is always from the beginning. The Super Saiyan God transformation and stuff like that, I'm actually fine with the Super Saiyan God stuff. Super Saiyan God is a great idea. I love it. I think it's better. I always say this. I think it's stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. I'm going to get backlash for that. I'll make a video for it. Don't worry. I got y'all. I think the concept of keeping Dragon, I think the idea was to have them become Super Saiyan gods, have them continue to train the Super Saiyan God transformation, fight against Golden Frieza as the Super Saiyan God, washes Frieza. They go on the universe 6 versus 7. I don't even know how you're supposed to fix that. I ain't even gonna lie. I think you just make the characters stronger or more important. I don't even know how you folks. I don't even know how to fix that. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But that's when in the fight against either in the fight against Hit or something, that's when the idea of tapping into Super Saiyan Blue or something that gets them that win over Hit. And then in the future Trunks arc, fix all that crap. I don't even know how you do it. You fix all that crap. You have it to where Super Saiyan Blue, like in the manga, they had to perfect it, right? So that's what they need to do. So they perfect Super Saiyan God, the red form. They perfect me. He fight against Beerus is unperfect. Against Frieza, it's the perfect Super Saiyan God. Perfect Super Saiyan God. And they hit in the Universe 6 versus 7 arc, it's Super Saiyan Blue. And the Future Trunks arc is perfect Super Saiyan Blue. They perfected it finally. And it's a difference between just transforming into and then a perfection version of it. And that's what they do. And then the Tournament of Power, you just got to fix everything. Let's fix the whole thing. Get rid of the filler peoples, add in some real characters or some real, make the characters a lot, make the more characters a lot stronger, make it feel like Master Roshi is not the answer. Maybe they bring in Yamcha. I mean, Yamcha is stronger than Master Roshi. I mean, what are we doing here? I know y'all gonna argue that. Go watch Dragon Ball. Go watch and read Dragon Ball. They'll tell you either that or you introduce a new character that's been in Universe 6 all this time that like have it to where Beerus had trained somebody in the past and he thought the person was dead and they on a planet and they're strong. They're Mr. Gohan form, Mr. Gohan strong or something, or even below Mr. Gohan. That's fine. Have him come in, do some damage and do some work or something like that. Introduce a brand new character that's actually a real character. Don't use Frieza for God's sakes. God, dude. And then that's it. That's just my personal opinion. So my personal opinion, I'll take Dragon Ball GT's concept ideas or ideas over Super's ideas. And if I fix both of them, you hear what I have fixed. So that's just me. But hey, that's the end of this. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thinking because I can go all day. I can go all day. But y'all hit the like, comment, subscribe, share this everywhere, wherever you listen to. If you're on YouTube, go find the House of Dre on Spotify. I do audio more than video on there. And then, of course, if you're on Spotify listening, go over to the YouTube page known as the House of Dre YouTube and subscribe and share there. I will catch you guys on the next